Hello Power Rangers Lightning Collection fans, and welcome back to Toku Topics. Today, it's finally here, the Versus Packs Wave 2. So, huge thanks to MCUcollector24, who bought the full case of them from Entertainment Earth. And so it comes with, you can see, 4 pieces. It comes with 2 of each of them. So he obviously kept one for his channel, which he's already uploaded his reviews of those for at least one of them. And he sold me the second set. So, I'm so excited for this. So let's go ahead and just dive right into it. He also said that he threw in some extra goodies, so I have no idea what he threw in, but I'm very excited to see what that is. So, here's one of them. And the other one. Oh, sweet! He also threw in... Oh, this is really cool. He threw in little stickers of his channel logo and like Ranger mascot. That's awesome. So, thank you so much, dude. Really appreciate it. As well as little 3D helmet sculpts as well. So that's really cool. Thank you so much, man. So here are the 2 Versus packs right here. So obviously let's take a real quick look at them. So here is the MMPR Yellow Scorpina one. The back render here looking really nice. I think the Scorpina figure looks amazing. I really wanted a Scorpina figure in the Lightning collection for a while. The other MMPR Yellow, I didn't need it, but you know, Hasbro did what they do. So I mean, the Aisha head looks really nice. So I'm happy to get that. I'm also happy to get the Blade version of the Blade Blaster once again. And this is just what Hasbro is going to do. So we have another MMPR Yellow. You know, they're doing the same thing with the upcoming Cat 2-pack. So, you know, I get it. So, you know, still a solid set. This one, though, very excited about for a couple of different reasons. First of all, TJ, one of the best Power Rangers of all time. I love getting him here. You know, I think the head looks pretty good. Obviously, it's another member of the In Space team that we need. Psycho Silver, absolutely love getting him here because the only other time he's had a figure was in the Bandai Legacy collection back at San Diego Comic-Con in 2018. So it makes sense to do this as well. You know, you can repaint the Psycho Ranger mold for the 1,000,000th time. But I also love Silver Rangers, so I have a big bias towards that. And it's a figure that I think is really cool, especially since it references a specific episode, 5 of a Kind, where they all turned into Blue Rangers to fight the Psycho Rangers, and then Zane became Psycho Silver to trick them. So it's a pretty cool set to reference that, and it makes sense to put them in a 2-pack. Unfortunately, we saw this in the promo shots, and it did carry over to the final product. The artwork is still incorrect, because it still has Andros's visor, and the square right there, which is supposed to be red in the center, is still blue. So unfortunately, that did make it all the way to the final product, and you can see on the side there that the visor did not change. And then there's the render back there, which looks pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the Yellow Ranger 2-pack. So let's open it up and take a look. Alright, so here is the first 2-pack out of the box, the Yellow Ranger versus Scorpina, which I believe is supposed to be based off of the episode Goldar's Vice Versa from episode 2, season 2, where you had kind of Aisha and Scorpina kind of, I guess, competing for Adam, I suppose. So it's a pretty cool 2-pack to reference that and everything. MMPR Yellow, infamously, was one of the more rarer figures, especially from Wave 4. So obviously this is not the Trini version, it's Aisha, and you do get a new you get a brand new Aisha head sculpt, which is going to be different from the one that we're going to be getting here pretty soon with the metallic armor release, because that's based off of her Season 3 appearance. But you really get a lot of good accessories here and everything. We'll go ahead and take a look at the Yellow Ranger figure first, since it's obviously not as exciting, since if you already have Wave 4s, you know exactly what's happening here. But, I mean, it still looks really good. You have the belt buckle there with the saber tooth. Obviously, you get all the standard articulation and everything like that. I don't really have much to say about this figure. It's nice to have. And if you're curious, here is the original Wave 4 release. And I know MCUcollector24 did bring this up in his video as well. It does look like the original one has kind of a darker shade of yellow. This is the original one, this is the new one. And I definitely see that in person, but it's really hard to tell. on camera, but I think the belt probably looks a little bit cleaner on the new one. I don't think my old one was too terrible though. But yeah, I think actually, if you look at the visor on the new one, it looks like mine got like less black paint. I think the one on the old one is a lot more cleaner for mine. So maybe I'll just swap the heads or something. I mean, you know, I don't even know what I'm going to do with two of these, but very curious what their boots say. Because this one has the Wave 4. Actually, do they still have the same number molded in? You can probably barely see that. I'm looking at it off camera here. And yeah, they have the same like boot mold. Because it still says 2019 on this one, just like this one does. So that does make sense because they are the same mold. But like I said, the yellows are definitely a different shade. I just don't really know how well it's coming across. But we'll just stand her up there. Accessory-wise, you get a lot of good stuff. You get the typical Blade Blaster in the blaster mode that we've had like 15 times. So nothing too exciting there. This is exciting though. You get the Blade version of it for the first time since the Black Ranger release in Wave 6. That's really cool. You get the power daggers, which we've had at least twice. We had them with Armored Red in the Comic-Con set, and we had them with Wave 4, of course. I would expect nothing less from that. You get a karate chop hand, so that looks pretty good, pretty standard. And you get a right holding hand. So, looks pretty good. You also get this blast effect piece that we've also had so many times before. But I don't think we've had it kind of in this sort of red shade. It's like a reddish pink kind of color. Kind of like a salmon color, kind of, I guess. It's pretty cool. You get two of them, just like you did with the original Trini release. You can peg them into the daggers. I would advise not doing that for super long, though, because when I did this with my Trini figure, eventually the weight of the effect piece on the display started to make the dagger like droop down. So just a word of caution there, but you can obviously do that. And then of course the big new thing is you're going to get the Aisha Campbell head sculpt, which, wow, that's a tight one. And there's the Aisha head on there. Be very careful, just like the original MMPR Yellow figure, the neck joint, that one is infamous for breaking on MMPR Yellow, and this is still a very tight joint. Very tight to get that on there, but it does look really good when you do it. So I think it looks pretty much like Karen Ashley from season 2. You get the scrunchie, you get the earrings. Yeah, and I think it's a pretty good likeness to her so far. So I think I prefer her longer hair look from season 3 that we will be getting with the metallic release, which are still slated for November, so we might get those relatively soon, hopefully. But yeah, I think it's a pretty good especially for a re-release. I think it's nice that you get this again. I think it's nice that you get a new color of the effect piece. And obviously, if you never got the original version, it's going to be pretty nice. I mean, granted, you don't get the Trini head, but maybe you can somehow find that or something. But the real star of the set is the brand new figure, Scorpina. And wow, this looks amazing. So Scorpina barely gets any figures. The only figure of her that I have is the Imagine Next one. Which is obviously not the greatest Scorpina figure by far. But yeah, that looks amazing. All the detail there, all the like armored sculpting, and the black wash a little bit on the kind of the silver armory parts, and all of that black and red detailing there. It looks so good. I'm very, very impressed with this. Her hair back there doesn't get... I mean, it kind of gets in the way of her head articulation, obviously, but you can still move her head a little bit. Just be a little bit careful, because everything that's the skin color on her skin tone on the chest is painted on, so you don't want that to scratch off or anything like that, so just be a little careful. But they even got like the red inside of her hand, which looks really good. And yeah, like the different shades of gold for like the armor pieces and like the pant pieces, so that looks really good. And I'm very impressed with this figure. Definitely a favorite. Yeah, so she looks great. She also comes with, of course, her boomerang bladed weapon thing, which is done up in a very pretty like gunmetal gray plastic, and the sculpting is just really good. So you can take that, put that in her hand, like so. So just kind of wrap it around there. Have her hold that. She can fight the Rangers with it. And of course, to go along with it, you have this, which is, now that I'm looking at it, it's actually an effect piece we've had before, but we've never had it in purple. So I think we've had this one before. I think this is the one that we had with, like, Blaze and Dino Charge Gold and Fighting Spirit Green and stuff like that, but we've never had it in purple. And I think we're definitely having a lack of purple effect pieces, so I'm always down for more purple effect pieces. So that looks fantastic. So there she is with that. And of course, we can put her back on the Hasbro Pulse stand, which will be linked in the description below. I'm always seeing people ask me what stands these are. So that's what they are. You can have her like reaching out for the Rangers or something. Oh, that looks fantastic. And then of course, you get an alternate kind of more clenched fist-ish hand for her left hand. And then you just get a fist for her right hand. So yeah. Let's do some comparisons with Scorpina and some of the villains, because I know people kind of want to see that. Alright, so here is Scorpina standing next to the Wave 6 Goldar figure, and I tried to make sure to line them up so that way like their feet were lined up so you can see their height differences. And Scorpina comes up to like about right here or so on Goldar, so I think in the Sentai she kind of goes up to like his shoulder, so she's a little taller than she should be, but I don't think it's that horrible or bad or anything like that. These look really good to, next to each other. So, to either be the couple that they are in Zyuranger or to just be villains to fight your Rangers in the Power Rangers line. I think these look fantastic together. Very iconic Season 1 villains. And then, of course, speaking of iconic Season 1 villains, here she is next to Rita. So we'll also kind of try to line up the feet there. And for the most part, they come up to about the same height in terms of like their foreheads. Obviously, Rita has the longer kind of crown horns going on here. But yeah, I think they scale pretty well. So I think that definitely works. So let's move on to the next 2-pack. Alright, so next up we have my most anticipated of these two of these. Also one of my most anticipated releases, of the Lightning Collection for the year. We have the In Space Blue Ranger and Psycho Silver. This pack is awesome. So this is, I think, a perfect example of Hasbro being able to get the most out of pre-existing molds and still give us a really cool new release. Because really, this, and this are the only new pieces. These are the only new pieces in this set. Everything else is either a slight, well actually I think even this, I think the visors on these are just painted. So everything else is just a, repaint of something we've already had before. But I mean, it makes sense. It's accurate. It's exactly how it should be. I would expect nothing less. But they were able to make 2 awesome new figures that reference something and that are valid releases. So let's go ahead and take a look at TJ here, the In Space Blue Ranger. So if you have Andros from Versus Packs Wave 1, and if you have Carlos from Wave 9, you pretty much know what we're getting here. So here he is. Thankfully, my visor doesn't look too bad. I know the In Space visors are kind of hit and miss on how they turn out, but you have his accurate, kind of the line kind of slanted look on the visor and stuff there, which we technically already kind of had with the A-Squad Blue last year, interestingly enough. You get the squares there, which I think look more centered on my TJ than they do on my Carlos. My Carlos and my Andros are back at my college dorm, so I can't really compare it, but it looks pretty good. But everything else is just blue, where it was red or black previously, which, I mean, I would expect nothing less. Obviously, you get the TJ head sculpt here, which I know is a big fan-desired one. Selwyn Ward here, and I think it looks pretty good. TJ, one of my all-time favorite Rangers. I think I might prefer him as Turbo Red, but obviously, In Space Blue TJ is also incredible. That's a pretty squeaky one there. Wow, just gotta warm up that joint a little bit. Yeah, but there it is. And I don't think that looks too bad. I don't think it's one of the all-time greatest head sculpts we've had in the line, but I think it certainly works. So there he is with that. Now, obviously, you also get the Astro Axe with him, which is a brand new piece. So here it is. Got the nice little like Mega Ranger In Space logo painted there. Unfortunately, it does have a black handle with black paint, which means I'm sure it's going to chip in his hand. as all the weapons where they have to paint the handles do. So there's like a piece of like plastic from the mold sprue kind of poking out of there on mine. You can see that right above the silver piece there, the gray piece. But yeah, not too bad. You get a karate chop hand for his left hand, so it looks pretty good. And you get a fist for his right hand, so pretty standard. You also get the Astro Blaster that we've had with even the disguised Andros. It's the second time I've gotten this piece this week. And you have this in yellow again, which, I mean, I love this effect piece, but like, holy crap, we get this thing in yellow all the time. We had it in yellow twice with MMPR Yellow. We had it with Psycho Blue both times. We have it here with him, so like, I don't mind getting it again, but like, could you at least make it a different color or make it purple or something? I don't know. But it still is pretty solid. I mean, it's the effect piece, but just kind of funny. And then we have this, which, I mean, wow. I have so many Psycho Ranger figures from the Lightning Collection, and I did bring the whole team home, so we can do a whole team shot. But Psycho Silver is the last official time that they can repaint that mold. I'm sure they'll find another way to release it again, since they've gotten a lot of use out of it. But they have gotten a lot of use out of it. We've gotten a male Psycho Ranger at least once every year of the Lightning Collection so far. So Psycho Red and Blue in 2019, the whole team in 2020, and now Psycho Silver here. So looks great though. They have all the silver. It's a very nice metallic silver painted on the boots and on the gauntlets on the back. So I know he's like an unofficial Psycho Ranger, but I'm happy to have him here. It's, like I said, a valid repaint of the mold, so might as well. You do get the brand new Psycho Silverizer, which I'm conflicted on. It looks really good, but I'm not sure if it's cast in black and then painted like black over that again. I think the silver is definitely painted on. I'm just conflicted if that's gonna paint chip or not on the handle. It looks like it probably would, but I really don't know. I think they might have painted like a matte black over the plastic. I'm not 100% sure. And then you get whoever this is. It's supposed to be Zane, but I don't think it looks much like Zane. Same thing with the upcoming In Space Silver. So this is the first time we've actually had a civilian head for a Psycho Ranger, so I've never really taken their helmets off before. But obviously you can do it. And there is Zane. Or at least their attempt at Zane. So I'll give him that. I don't think it looks horrible. I think the one on the regular Psycho, or the one on the regular In Space Silver we're going to be getting, looks a lot better. It still looks a lot like Jay Leno, but I think it kind of looks a little bit more like Zane compared to this one. So I guess there's that. And then of course you get the typical Psycho stuff. So you get the lightning effect, blast, shock hand, or whatever. Which I'm happy that they released this with every single Psycho. I would have been mad if they didn't. And then you have the typical Psycho fist. So yeah. Alright, and that is going to do it for Lightning Collection versus Packs Wave 2. Once again, huge thanks to MCUcollector24 for sending these my way, for being able to hook me up with these earlier than Amazon or Pulse would be able to. It's a great set of figures. I love these versus packs so much. I hope we get a Wave 3. We don't have any listings for a Wave 3 or anything like that, but I love how you basically get like a bonus Lightning Collection wave out of these because, you know, a wave is 4 figures, so this is basically like a wave. Obviously MMPR Yellow is my least favorite of the 4, just because we already have a version of her, so let's just scoot these a little bit more over so you can see them better. It's still not a bad figure. The Aisha head sculpt's great, like that a lot. Scorpina is probably the best of them, and then probably, so it's probably like 4th, 3rd, 2nd, 1st, which I know is kind of weird, maybe 1st. I just really like Psycho Silver. I have a big bias towards Silver Rangers, and I think it turned out great. So yeah, I mean, this 2-pack, obviously, you're going to want for Scorpina. I definitely recommend this one, because not only does it give you a core member of the In-Space team, but if you bought the Psycho Ranger 5-pack, this will go perfect with that. And I really like how they did the Psychos, because Psycho Green and Silver are like the bonus ones. So, you know, if you bought the 5-pack, you got the ones that mattered. And then you got, you know, you can get Zane from that one episode on his own, well, you know, with TJ. And then if you really want to go like full on Psycho, you can get Psycho Green from Hasbro Pulse last year if you really wanted to be like that, you know, committed to it. So I like how they released for the Psychos, and I think that was a good way to do it. So thank you all for watching this video. Very happy to have these. They look great. and I highly recommend you pick them up yourselves. So, of course, until next time, you can follow me on Twitter at LivingRangerKey or at LightningFigPR, and I'll see you all later.